But we begin this half hour with the polygamist family from Utah we first met here on Today last week, now the target of a bigamy investigation. Today national correspondent Amy Robach has details. Amy, good morning to you.
Meredith, good morning. The Browns are featured in the new reality show Sister Wives, which chronicles the lives of Cody Brown, his 4 wives, and their 16 children. But their show's success may now come with a hefty price. When Sister Wives aired Sunday on TLC, it was a big hit with viewers. The reality show about a family of polygamists was the most watched series premiere on the cable network this year.
20 years ago, I married Mary, and then 17 years ago, I married Janelle, and then 16 years ago, I married Christine.
And he recently added a 4th wife, but it wasn't just fans tuning in to see how Cody Brown was handling his multiple wives. It turns out the Lehigh City Police Department was watching too, and they've launched an investigation into the polygamous marriage.
Of course, the program brought a lot of it out in the open. We intend to investigate it and see where that leads us. Once that's done, we'll forward that on to the county attorney's office.
Commenting on the police investigation, the Browns released this statement. We are disappointed in the announcement of an investigation, but when we decided to do this show, we knew there would be risks. But for the sake of our family and most importantly, our kids, we felt it was a risk worth taking. Last week on Today, Brown and his wives told Meredith why they were doing the show.
I'm not trying to sell it to the world. When you're in a closed society, you just feel kind of oppressed, exactly.
Well,
yeah,
I think it's dangerous. We're hoping that we can create more transparency for those in our faith.
There's a lot of bad media about polygamy and this way of life, and we're hoping to kind of dispel some of that and say, hey, that's not us, that's not our family.
They didn't go into this blindly. They knew what they were doing, but they felt so strongly that they wanted to help educate people that, hey, here's a family that's happy and they get along in it. So I admire them and respect them for that choice.
Under Utah law, polygamy is illegal, even though more than an estimated 25,000 people are currently practicing polygamy in the heavily Mormon state. In the past, the Utah Attorney General's office has declined to prosecute polygamy alone. The last prosecution was in 2001 when Tom Green, married to 5 women, was convicted on bigamy and child rape charges. Authorities took action after he promoted his lifestyle on national television. And in Green's case, he served 6 years in prison before he was released in 2007. Police are not giving a timetable for their investigation of the Browns, but said that once it's complete, it will be up to the Utah Attorney General's office to decide if criminal charges will be filed. Meredith.
Amy Robach, thank you very much. Ann Wild, who you saw in Amy's piece, is a friend of the Brown family and co-founder of Principal Voices, a nonprofit polygamy advocacy organization. Greg Skordas is the former head of the Special Victims Unit of the Salt Lake District Attorney's Office. Good morning to you both.
Hi.
Hi.
And good morning. If I can start with you, you are a friend of the Brown family. You encouraged them to do this show. In fact, I think you were the one who initially got them in touch with the producers of the show. You talked to Cody Brown last night. What does he say about how the family is coping right now in light of this investigation?
Well, he first of all said that he was very humbled and very sobered by the whole experience, but that he had found peace in his heart. And even though it has been a real shock to them to find out about the investigation, they are a strong family. When I talked to Christine, she said she felt like she'd been hit in the stomach. But they are a very prayerful family and very united and have a lot of family solidarity, so they'll be okay.
But Ann, he knew that polygamy is against the law in the state of Utah, and obviously by exposing his family, he was possibly going to subject them to an investigation. Does he have any regrets about it now?
Do you guys like Rob?
He said he had absolutely no regrets. There's an important story he wants to tell, and that's why he felt it was worth the risk. And that's something that Principal Voices has tried to do too as well, is to educate people that this lifestyle is a viable lifestyle between consenting adults. It's a strongly held religious belief, and we would like to be able to form our families like other alternative families.
Greg, let's talk about this law in Utah, because technically, as I said, it is illegal. Polygamy is illegal. You can be sentenced to up to, I believe it's 5 years in jail. But the Attorney General's office in the past has said it will not prosecute these kinds of cases involving consenting adults unless there are other crimes involved, be it child abuse, domestic violence, violence, fraud. We don't have any indication that those crimes are evident in the Brown family. So why is this investigation going forward?
Well, I suppose that the investigation is going forward.
And this is for Greg. I apologize. Greg?
Excuse me. I'm sorry.
I would say that the only reason it would go forward in a case like this is because you're right. We don't prosecute polygamy in Utah. We don't prosecute crimes between consenting adults. But we've sort of gone over the line in this case because now they're doing it. They're flaunting this, and it is a felony on national TV. You know, we don't prosecute bingo parlors. We don't prosecute people who gamble in their homes. But if they want to do that type of thing on national TV, certainly, if you're going to have the law, you've got to at least look into it. And so the Lehigh Police Department and ultimately the Utah County Attorney's Office are going to have to make some tough decisions. The law's on the books. It's a felony. And if you're not going to prosecute this case where these people are doing this so blatantly, then you're never going to prosecute the case.
Well,
and I don't know that they will necessarily.
Do investigators need to do anything more than simply watch the reality show to build their case?
No, they don't. I'm sure that they'll subpoena the tapes of the other segments that may have been cut or whatnot. But if you were prosecuting a case like this, if I was prosecuting a case like this, you could show this segment, the series in front of a jury, and I don't see that there would be any defense to the felony crime of bigamy that's been committed here.
But Greg, you know, he's technically only married legally to one woman, Mary. The other marriages are common law. They're respected and honored by the church, but that's it. They're not legal marriages. So in that case, and with that distinction, does that give them any protection under the law?
No, because under the law, you could only get one marriage certificate. The Utah County Clerk's Office would only be able to issue one certificate. So under that theory, it would be impossible to commit the crime. The law says if you cohabitate and live together as a husband and wife, knowing that you've got another spousal relationship going at the same time, you've committed the crime.
And let me give you the last word here. With so many people, when they think of multiple marriages, they think of these high-profile sect leaders who have been subjected to legal matters and often sent to prison. People like Tom Green, convicted of bigamy and child rape, who was mentioned in Amy's piece. What message are you trying to get out about polygamy with shows like this one involving the Browns?
Well, we would really like people to understand that in many cases, in most cases, we're very average families, just like the show portrays on Sister Wives. We would eventually like to see the law changed. As Greg mentioned, it is a felony, but we feel like that's a very high penalty and a high rating for our lifestyle when adultery is only a misdemeanor. And we would certainly like to see it reduced, and in order to do that, somebody has to come out publicly and explain to the public more about our lifestyle so they'll understand it.
And very quickly, actually, I want, Greg, you to quickly answer this. If there are no other crimes found against this family beyond polygamy, do you think they will face charges?
I think that's a really tough case, Meredith. I think the Utah County Attorney's Office is in a no-win situation. He may very well just run it up the flagpole with a grand jury and let them decide, because we really don't prosecute these crimes in Utah.
All right, Ann Wild, Greg Skordas, thank you so much for your perspectives this morning. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.